Start of video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that really makes you think about trust, intuition, and the secrets we keep. It's about a man named Mark and his wife Sarah. They had what seemed like the perfect marriage, the kind you see in movies, built on a decade of shared dreams, laughter, and what Mark believed was unshakable trust. Mark was old-fashioned in a way. He believed privacy was sacred, a cornerstone of respect in a relationship. The idea of checking Sarah's phone? It never even crossed his mind. To him, it would have been a violation, a sign that the foundation of their marriage was crumbling. He trusted her completely, and for 10 years he had no reason to doubt that trust. Their life was a comfortable rhythm of work, shared dinners, and weekend getaways. They were happy, or so he thought. But then things started to change. It wasn't a sudden earthquake that shook their world, but a series of small, almost unnoticeable tremors. Sarah began working late more often. At first, Mark was supportive. Her job was demanding, and he admired her ambition. He'd keep her dinner warm, greet her with a smile, and listen as she talked about stressful projects and tight deadlines. He was her #1 supporter, always ready to cheer her on. Soon, the late nights became a regular thing. The excuses, once detailed and specific, grew vague. "Just a lot to wrap up," she'd say, her voice distant over the phone. Weekend plans, once their sacred time to reconnect, were frequently canceled at the last minute because of a work emergency. Mark started eating dinner alone more nights than not, the silence in their once lively home feeling heavier each day. The emotional distance grew too. Their conversations, once deep and engaging, became superficial. He'd ask about her day, and she'd give one-word answers, her eyes glued to her phone screen. She was physically present but emotionally a million miles away. Mark felt a chill seeping into their relationship, a coldness he couldn't quite name but could feel in his bones. He tried to talk to her about it, gently asking if everything was okay, if she was stressed or unhappy. Each time she'd dismiss his concerns with a wave of her hand. "Don't be silly, Mark," she'd say. "I'm just tired. Work is crazy." He wanted to believe her. He clung to the image of the woman he had married, the woman who shared his hopes and fears. He told himself this was just a phase, a rough patch, that all long-term couples go through. He doubled his efforts to be a good husband, planning surprise date nights that she'd often cancel, buying her thoughtful gifts that were met with polite but distracted thanks. He was fighting a battle to save his marriage, but it felt like he was fighting alone. A knot of unease tightened in his stomach, a quiet voice in the back of his mind whispering that something was seriously wrong. He ignored it, choosing to trust his wife instead. The breaking point arrived on a quiet Tuesday evening. It was their anniversary. Mark had come home early, filled the house with the scent of Sarah's favorite lilies, and was in the middle of cooking a gourmet meal. He was determined to break through the wall that had grown between them. He sent her a text. "Hurry home, I have a surprise for you. Happy anniversary, my love." He waited, his heart a little lighter with anticipation. An hour passed. Then 2. He called her, but it went straight to voicemail. Just as he was starting to truly worry, Sarah walked in. She looked flustered, avoiding his eyes. "Sorry I'm late," she mumbled. "Last-minute meeting ran over." The disappointment hit Mark like a physical blow, but he forced a smile. "It's okay," he said. "I made us dinner." As she put her bag down on the kitchen counter, her phone, which was usually attached to her hand, fell out. It landed face up, and just as it did, the screen lit up with a new message. Mark wasn't trying to snoop, he just happened to be looking in that direction. And in that split second, his world shattered. The text wasn't from a colleague. It was from a man named Alex, and the message was just 3 words that would change everything. "Miss you already." Time seemed to freeze. "Miss you already." The words echoed in the silent kitchen, louder than any shout. It wasn't a work message. It wasn't from a friend. The intimacy, the timing, the lie she had just told him. It all clicked into place with horrifying clarity. The late nights, the canceled plans, the emotional distance. It wasn't work. It was him. Alex. For the first time in 10 years, Mark felt an overwhelming urge to do the one thing he had sworn he never would. His hand trembled as he reached for her phone. Sarah's eyes widened in panic and she lunged for it, but she was too late. With a sick feeling in his gut, Mark unlocked the phone. Her password, ironically, was their anniversary date. His heart pounded in his chest as he opened her messages. The thread with Alex was right at the top. He started scrolling up, and with every message he read, another piece of his heart broke. There were weeks, no months of them. Messages filled with "I love yous," with plans for secret meetings, with complaints about him, her husband. They talked about their future together. They shared inside jokes and intimate photos. It was a whole other life she was living, a life he had no part in. The man who had stood in this kitchen just moments before, full of hope for his anniversary, was gone. In his place was a stranger, hollowed out by betrayal. He looked up from the screen, his eyes meeting Sarah's. She wasn't saying anything, her face a mask of guilt and fear. The silence was deafening. There were no more lies to hide behind, no more excuses to give. The truth, in all its ugly detail, was laid bare on the screen of her phone. He placed the phone back on the counter, the gesture feeling strangely final. He didn't yell, he didn't scream. All the anger and hurt had coalesced into a profound, empty calm. "Who is he?" Mark asked, his voice barely a whisper. Yet it carried the weight of a decade of broken trust. The story of what happened next is about more than just the end of a marriage. It's about Mark's journey of rebuilding his life from the rubble. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the hardest truths are the ones that set you free. Trust is a fragile thing, and once it's broken, it can change the course of everything. Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. It's a tough one, but there are important lessons in it. If you've been through something similar or just found this story impactful, let me know in the comments below. Your thoughts and experiences are so valuable. Don't forget to like this video if it resonated with you, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that make us think. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.